Hey, welcome. All my right thinkers, thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Fog. Thinking right out here in my lab. Oh, we about to go deep. In my Egyptian yoga book, we about to talk about philosophies, the difference in between them, that they are pretty much the same. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practiced daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. Yeah, that's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to my God be true. Right thinkers, P Funk philosophy. We're gonna have some fun with the different philosophies that all do the same thing. Get you enlightened, get you to God. That's the purpose. And then we're gonna do the chronology of the Egyptian philosophy compared to the Indian philosophy. I got a little bit of everybody's philosophy. Woohoo, we about to philosophize out. Let's rock. Starting with these are the Vedas. Okay, they were the Veda philosophy holds that there are four planes of existence. This is their philosophy, and that the human being is really a composite of three bodies and five sheaths, or what they call layers, in this manner. So the divine self, they call Brahman, okay, not Amen, Brahman, express itself in the form of what they say is nature and living things. See how the philosophy said the same thing but different? If you follow along, pay attention. Now, in their planes, we got three levels of consciousness. In Egyptian philosophy, they call it planes. And the first one is gross plane. That's the consistent of the gross elements and the senses. I guess that's the physical plane. That's this level. The subtle plane, that's consistent of subtle elements that may be perceived through extrasensory perception, meaning it's becoming mental now. It ain't physical no longer is up. And then you got a subtler plane, which the intellect, now we're talking the mind. Here, the ego is transcended. The ego is the thing that you have identified who you are. That's fine. But to raise your conscious level, that's low level thinking. Thinking you're human. Your higher self know you God. That's why you want to get to that level. That's the subtle plane where the ego now have to what? Acquiesce, give in. Carl Jung, famous Swiss psychiatrist, he said as he ran the hospital, and every person to a man said the same thing. The ego acquiesced when imminent of death, when imminent death is on the way. The ego get out the way, like the scapegoat. He leads you there, and then he dip off. Why? He can't stand what's about to happen. He can't handle it. That's why. So for all you ignorant people, the ignorance that y'all go to send out at Judgment Day, scared to death. Why? Don't know nothing else. Don't have God in his mind. Remember, his ego, it edged God out. It don't know God. That's what being ignorant of yourself means if you let the ego run you. It's all esoteric and symbolic. But you can manifest it in the real. That's how it works. The intellect, your conscience, have to be over the ego and for you to understand death. How about this? At the time of death, your brain secretes DMT. What the hell is that? That's a hallucinogen. That's a drug that you can create and make outside of yourself. How is it in you? Why? To help you get to that death part right there. To help the ego make it through. So he got to hallucinate it, got to trick it. Think it's in what? In the dream state. That's what I tell you, when you're dreaming, you practicing for death. And for all y'all ignorant people, it's going to either be torment or pleasure. Your choice. But you're going to have to deal with it one way or another. What? Your actions will set the tone for that. That's why you're going to be judged by what? What you did, what you said, how you acted, and more importantly, your intentions. That's what a lot of us fall short. Integrity is doing the right thing when ain't nobody watching. So, like my grandmaster said, my life you can take, my integrity never. So a lot of people don't have that integrity. So then the fourth one is, this is the subtlest, this is the highest level. Oh, excuse me. But third one is the intellect. Here, your ego is transcended. It leaves. And now the one experience, now they call it your higher form of being. Your ego stop out the way and let Haru step in and take over. Remember they say, devil get behind me. At that point in time, you want your ego behind you, not in front of you. But this level, the subtlest level, this is the level of what we call the casual body. That's when you become one with your higher self. You're enlightened. You're there. That's that place you go in your dream. When you wake up, you don't remember, but you feel so good. That's the casual body concept. This is their philosophy. Then they got the three bodies. Now, in the fourth state, that was consciousness, physical, mental, and absolute. Then you got the bodies. Those is planes, all mental, excuse me. Now the body is the physical body, the astral body, and then the casual body. They use bodies, we use planes of consciousness. But everybody had a concept. In the five sheaves, it covers the food, the pranic sheath, the vital energy, the five of them. The food sheath, that's the Anamanyana kosher, Jews like that. And then you got the pranic sheath, that's the vital energy when they help breathe in that good ass prana. That's the chi, Yahweh for some people. Then you got the mind sheath, that's the Manayama, that's again the kosher philosophy. And the intellect sheath, which is Vajramana kosher, again, Jewish philosophy concepts. Then you got the bliss sheath. One transcends the ego self and the body and experiences oneness with the spirit. Same concept, becoming one, knowing thyself, all the same concept. So let me get this one. But the three bodies and the five sheaths may be compared. Now, Egypt, we got the philosophy of the 9 parts of the body, and they try to, pretty much the same. That's what I'm saying. I know the 9 parts. Let's talk about that. They got 8, and you made the 9th. Okay. So they say here, when the spirit, 9 parts of the spirit from Egypt, including the Ba, or what you call the supreme soul. So when it is considered that the Vedic, this is the philosophy, system of India, they propose that it's 8 parts plus the supreme self equal the Atman equals 9, or Brahman. The similarity appears most and exact in the thing of number 9. That number 9 is a bad number. Okay. But the practice of Vedic yoga, as developed in India, started around 1000 BCE and it ended around 100 BCE. So that concept didn't last long. Okay. But it's classified as a science with what? 8 steps. And they're corresponding, the 8 steps, to the Egyptian mystery system will become evident. I got the Egyptian philosophy alongside the Indian philosophy. We're going to show that. I did that with the Greeks. I showed the Greeks stole everything. The Indians didn't steal. They incorporated and they let it be known, yeah, we got this from y'all, but we're going to do it this way, which is fine. But the way the Greeks did it, not so much. All right. I still got a problem with that, as you see. But let's talk about self-control. That's the ego for Egyptians. That's maintaining what? Controlling one's ego self. They started the box with that. They called it Yama. And it means nonviolence, truthfulness, chastity, and avoidance of greed. That's the opposite of Set. That's what you want to do. Control that ego, and they do it this way. Next one, this is their philosophy. Number 2, practice of virtue. I just give you the truth, virtue. Okay, we know how to feel about virtue. Virtue, they call it nayama, and it means actions that avoid order to maintain yama. You have to avoid what? Doing the wrong thing. Okay, to actions to avoid in order to maintain yama. Satanian qualities, avoid them. Eradicate the ego philosophy, avoid them. Number 3, posture. They call it, or they say abbreviate is asana. That means to condition one's body and prepare the mind and body for what? Daily meditation. I'm with them. Count me in. That's the first person I heard put daily meditation in their philosophy. Y'all said pray how many times a day? Yeah, but ain't none of y'all said meditate. Not a one. So I got to commend them for that. Number 4, breath control. Pranayama. Okay, control your breathing. That's important for daily meditation. Okay, you got to be able to pump the oxygenated blood to the brain quickly than just regular. Inhale. It's a procedure that you can use that will pump the blood there quicker and give you better flow of mind control, blood to the brain. But this means controlling the breath and controlling your life force. By controlling the life force is controlling one's mind. I love it. I understand the philosophy. It's perfect. Number 5, restraint. They call it pratyahara. This means spiritual disciplines and disciplining your sense organs, physical body, to avoid overindulgence in physical temptations and desires of the body by food, sex, drugs, etc. I got no problem with that. This thing is killing me. Oh, I got me some new bling bling. I think I gotta separate this stuff because it's a little too wet. I can't. Nobody can see what's going on. Plus, it's making too much noise around my neck. I just picked up some new bling. Thank you for my right thinkers. Help a brother out. Got a little something in shopping. So every now and then you got to do that. So yeah, they don't particularly care for it. I don't particularly care. All right, number 6. Sorry about that. I had to get that in. This thing. But studying one's mind. That's what they call Dharma. Studying, getting proficient in the teachings, learning the teachings proficiently, know them, and then practicing and focusing one's mind, aka concentrating the mental rays on one's subject over a short period of time. That's meditating. Focus on one thing, and let that be your focus. That's how you control the mind to what? Thinking and keeping no pop-up thoughts in the mind, bad thoughts, negative thoughts, just random thoughts. Control that. That's how mind control, self-mastery. They showing you this is what you need to be doing with this. Everybody's teaching you how to master this. Heads up, I just throw that out there. But number 7, meditation. Meditation, okay? Dhyana. This means when the object of your concentration engulfs you and the entire mind and concentration continue spontaneously. You stay focused. I say I'm God conscious. I keep God on my mind all the time. That keeps me level, focused, and disciplined to what? Doing the right thing. Because if you ain't really, you can get a little relaxed, and we all understand that. That's the devil's workshop. The ego, the idle mind, the ignorant mind is where the devil do his best work at. Why? To coerce you, tempt you, and whatever else he can do to get you to what? Do his bidding. Simple. And when the object is focused on, it stays on the mind that is spontaneous. I can always go into meditate state. I can always think about God. I keep God on my mind all the time. Number 8, deep meditation. They call that samadhi. I couldn't wait to get here. I'm a yogi and I love to meditate. I spend most of my spare time meditating. My pastor said he called him talking to God time. I got no problem with that at all. Not a bit. I say meditate. He called download the information from God, direct connection. So he know ain't no middleman between him and God. And he teach the Jesus and Christ concept, but he put it in you. So I got a problem with that. Okay? And that's what samadhi is. Being comfortable with your way of thinking, your way of doing things for you. When you have knowledge of self, you have self-mastery, you master the qualities of yourself that help you be your best self. You can't lose in life with that. Simple as that. That's what it's all about. So I'm trying to get every individual to do that for themselves. That's my job. And thank you. Okay, I must be doing something right. Why wasn't the pyramid? Yeah. I get you. Moving on. All right. But deep meditation, we call it samadhi. And right thinkers, when you reach this level in life, you become a sage, a saint, somebody who just an enlightened being. You know yourself. You ain't got to do nothing. Everybody ain't got to teach and try to philosophize and get everybody enlightened. Some people just get it and go about their merry way and live a nice, fruitful life. All the actors in Hollywood who do that, they freak out. Why? Because they're not caught up in your nonsense. They doing them. That's all. And everybody not used to that. So you're a different person when you do that. Dance to your own beat, watch your own tune, dance, whatever they want to say that. Be different. It's okay. Be unique. Be you. We all individual. Ain't no two people the same. So you ain't got, well, I'm unique. We all know that. So that ain't a profound statement. Show it. Okay? Like my man said, don't argue what a good man is. Be one. Moving on. So with samadhi, your personality now it dissolves temporarily where into the object of your meditation focus, and you have the experience of you ready super consciousness, or more importantly, oneness, supreme oneness, hotep. When you become one with your higher self, God, and you know that, and from your own spirit, now you know God personally. That's a self relationship. When you talking to that person inside you, you listen to that person. That's God. Come on now. But they do it, and they have another thing called in the Yoga Kama Sutras. The Yoga Sutras of the sage Patanjali in 200 BCE. The Tantra Yoga philosophy, that's more into extending your pleasures when you're having sexual intercourse, to teach you how to get in a position where you can just enjoy the extended pleasures of that. No, y'all don't want to do that. And I ain't got a problem with that. But y'all want to do it with what? With the little gummy bears and the red stuff on that knot, on them extended erection things for y'all. To, to have extended pleasures. If everybody just want to just pleasures, what the hell? That's what we are now? I had my days. They called it in life the roaring 20s, you have fun. In the 30s, you just, in the 40s, now you just, the 50s, you're lying. Okay? And, the 30s, you're mucking around. The 40s, you lying about. In the 50s, you're making an ass out of yourself. So in the philosophy and the physical breakdown of man at 50, they start having what they call ED. What's that? Erectile dysfunction. And because the male ego is so that he don't want to tell nobody, I can't get up. Your wife know. Okay? The bedroom tell all the tales. All that up now. Oh, that's why they got to sneak and take the pills in the bedroom. They ready to go. So they hide their discretions of what erectile dysfunction. It's human nature. Moving on, I ain't got time to give sex education class. But yeah, y'all rather just what? Extend the pleasure by eating them damn things and keep the things like that. Moving on, but that's where we are with pleasure. It's man, my husband could, man, I'm so tired. Jesus Christ. Grow your penis. Have sex for hours. What the hell? Do anybody tell you the side effects of that nonsense that y'all jump up and down about? The Viagra was heart medicine from the rip. The side effect was the erect penis. So that they took the other part for the heart out and just give you something. Come on, fellas. You got to be better than that. But that's a new thing. I ain't into new. Okay, I ain't got time for that. All right, but that was the Veda Upanishads concept. Let me get you over here to what they call the 4 times. The 4th sutra, we did a couple of them. That's your mind stuff. Flows what indiscriminately. The seer becomes identified with the thought waves. You need to identify with your higher self, and it's all done by thoughts. Patanjali goes on to say that due to the identification of the seer, which is our true self, see where we're going with this? Now, this is Indian philosophy, again, with the thoughts. Thoughts create. Everything started with a thought. We believe ourselves to be mortal. That's the ego self. It don't know God. It just know itself. Hence ego. Edging God out. Get the concept. Come on. This, remember, this is esoteric teaching. And everything is done symbolically. And if you understand symbolism, you'll get to understand it. And they telling you, if you believe you're mortal, mortals die, don't they? Mm-hmm. So that's, if you believe that, that's the concept that you're gonna live with, and you're gonna have that until what? Your dying day. You're gonna fight, kick, and scream. Why? You don't know yourself. You don't know that your God and the spirit can't die, but the mind is running the show. So the ego says, "Oh, I don't want to die. I don't want to die." Okay. Did you think about the things that you could have did, should have did, could have avoided this early death in your life? So moving on, I ain't got time for that. But I tell you, when you believe you're mortal, and it's all mental, you are limited now instead of what? You actually are immortal and immutable. But he further says that there is no need to worry. Why? Because through the the steady practice of yoga, practicing what? Dispassion, take your emotion out of the situation, devotion to God, do the right thing, hold yourself accountable. That's a spiritual discipline. And mind control. Don't let the nonsense come in your mind, sway you to do nonsensical stuff. You got to fight off the ignorant nonsense. And these is mental exercises that can be done through what? Daily meditation. A negative thought don't stand a chance in my mind. Don't stand a chance. Understand that. Why? I recognize it, and I'm no. You got no say so. None. If I can conquer my ego, I can sure conquer some ignorant thoughts. Okay. But even the most unruly mind, the ignorant mind, the most savage mind can be controlled if what one desires. We live for desires. If your desire is to control yourself, you will do that. But if your desire is to please yourself, that's what you're going to do. Moving on. And even if pleasing yourself hurts you, you still going to do it. Mm-hmm. Smoking, drinking, all the stuff that we know is bad for us, we still do it. Yeah. Like my man said, suicide by installments. We killing ourselves slowly, but I'm having fun along the way. You guys who take them pills, you die in the middle of oh, that's the way you want to go. Have an orgasm, okay, have at it. Okay, if that's what you living for, do you. But thus now, you the individual, you will be able to discover their true self if you what? Learn to practice with self-knowledge to know yourself. And when the chitta, that's the thought wave, thinking process. When the chitta is controlled, I like what man Sadi said, he says it's funny. But when it's under control, aka we know as the ego, okay, it is as if one looks at oneself through, watch this, colored sunglasses, and because of the ignorance, that's what the color is, they believe oneself to be that color, that the shade that's in. Make sense? Watch this. So in the same way, right thing of philosophy, yoga is the process of helping you to unveil your ignorance, uncovering your eyes from what? This illusion of one's mind, thought ways about who you are and be ignorant of who you really are. So let's get to the chronology of the Egyptian philosophy. We've been doing this for a long time. Philosophy is a way to break it down things you're trying to get to learn. So let's go. The sky god, the realm of light and day, we call it Netter. That's the one god. Is androgynous, all-encompassing, the absolute, nameless, being later identified with who we call Ra Haru, which is the Sphinx. 10,000 years ago, we put our concept of God and idea in stone. Beastly nature to higher consciousness. We are all beastly. Okay, we all have instincts. That's the first three levels. The fourth level, we come compassion, empathetic people concerning with other things other than ourselves. That's why the ego starts at the third level. Now you raise above him. Okay, so the Sphinx was the first monument to God. Okay, and from a yoga or spirituality, we had Ra Buto, and this religion started back in 10,000 BCE and lasted up until 600 ACE when the Christians knew God, shut all of the temples down who practiced that philosophy around that long time. Why would somebody take it out? Moving on, I ain't got time for that. But again, that's what happened. So now we got the pyramid text. That's my thing. There you go. That's where I come in. The Egyptian book of coming forth by day, favorite, and my 42 confessions of Maya. They had a 3,000 year run of prosperity and harmony amongst themselves, practicing this philosophy. When I went to Egypt, I wanted to find out what it was that they did, and that's what it is. I'm telling you what it is now. That's what I'm getting to you why. It's been working for me for the last 20 years. That's why. So I'm breaking it down. And you have Asar, Haru, which is the God, Father Asar, Haru the Son. It's all spiritual, metaphorical, but it's all symbolical that you can practice it and learn from it. Why? God is the soul of all men. That's Asar. And women. 10,000 BCE, they had that philosophy, and it lasted for 5,500 BCE, till 5 BCE. And then we come up with Amun Ra, Ptah, which is Haru, in the flesh. Every spirit, or from the other spirits, Amun Ra Ptah, the Trinity of God. Amun, hidden, Ra, visible, the Son, give life, sustains life, and Ptah, the self-created one who uttered himself into existence. We are the spirit of that which is Haru. And then you got the female aspects, which is Aminet, okay, and Rai, Rai, and Ptah's wife was Setmut. That's the other part of Ra, when he sent his daughter out to do work for all the sinners. That's her. And she a bad girl in her own right. She can heal or kill. Moving on. Powers in both hands. But you have male and female trinity complementary. I just broke that down for you. And everything's always about opposite. Once God committed to Mayat, everything was coming to pairs. And from 500 BCE to 600 ACE, that philosophy was in effect. At 600 ACE, shut it down. So the gods of Heliopolis, the Shu, Geb, Asar, Set, Haru, from 5,500 to BCE to 600 was the cream of the crop. And then no more. So the gods of Memphis, that's the third part of the Trinity by God. Well, that's what Ptah is, the created God in Memphis. Amun ran Ani, Heliopolis, and then you had Ra, who took over in Heliopolis, and Amun had Ani. So they had three different aspects of God. They broke it down. They all had royal families. But the one right here, Ptah, Atum, Haru. Ptah is the created one. Atum is when the sun goes in the west. Haru is the offspring, the spirit. And you had Setmet was the wife of Ptah. And you got the fourth, this is primeval waters, the Noon. The Noon, N-U-N, primeval waters, male aspect. Then you got Noonet, which is heaven. Their aspect of heaven, not new, but they got Noonet. Okay, that represents heaven, opposite of earth. Okay, and you got Hu, which means boundlessness, male. And you got Huet, means bounds, boundaries. Okay, stuff that we got to keep us in line. That's Huet. That's the female aspect. Again, everything coming in pairs. These are the original opposites. Okay, Agdo they call it. But Kuk represents darkness. Kuket represents light. Okay. Amun means hidden, the hidden one. Amanet means the manifested one. See where we're going with this? And this was on philosophy from Memphites from 5,500 BCE to 600 again ACE. The gods of Heliopolis was always male and female, but their principles that we use for creation, air, Shu, water, Tafnu, opposite, come together. They come together, they create earth, Gab, heaven, Nu. Different concepts, different philosophy, but they give you the same information, the same concept, okay? Existence, non-existence. That's God. He exists and doesn't exist at the same time. That's the concept, philosophically. Endless and ending. Alpha and Omega, beginning and end. Inert and movement at the same time. Again, this is all the concepts of God. Darkness and light. Out of the darkness comes what? Light. Light don't come out of darkness. Okay, so we understand that? Now, I just gave you a quick little breakdown of the philosophy and the concepts of what we call the chronology of the Egyptian philosophy. I'm going to give you the Indian philosophy. I'm going to speed up a little quick for you. I see the clock. but I'm doing my thing right now, so I ain't trying to beat the clock. Let me get this lesson out. So, in the chronology of the Indian philosophy, which mirrors the Egyptians, but it starts a little later, they have what you call the Iran concept of civilization. Yoga and spirituality, they use Kundalini. We know it as serpent power. They had the philosophy of Kundalini, watch this, and the chakras. And the Dravidian from the Indus Valley culture, they started up around 25 BCE. And they lasted for about 1,000 years from the Nile Valley until 1500 BCE. Then you got the Iranian influence, who now comes my boys, the Vedas. They use the Atman, the Brahman. You got the Mayans, okay, the Maya path of the ritualism and the social caste. They started around 1500 BCE into around 1000. That's where the Abrahamic came in, right around that time. Okay, before that, nothing about the Christians. But now you got Jainism. They came aboard 1200 BCE. Didn't last too long. My boys, Upanishads, the spinoff of the Egyptians, they had non-dualism, non-ritualistic philosophy of what? Reincarnation. Okay, no, renunciation of the world, of illusion. They want you to see the world for what it really is and deal with the concept of what? Eliminating pain. What? Stop desiring. When you desire, don't get something, you hurt. That's the pain. Chinese student asked the Master, why do we suffer? He said, we suffer because we desire. So he asked him, well, how do we stop our desiring? That's your desire. That's what you need to figure out. And that came around 800 BCE. Then you got the Krishna cult. Oh, these are the guys who devoted to the deity Krishna from 800 BCE to 500 BCE. Then you got the Samkhya philosophy. These is complementary dualism philosophy, where everything we know again is dual. 700 BCE to the day. They're still in practice. That's what they're saying. So the Greek Mongol influence from 1200 BCE to 700 BCE. We got the Buddha, non-ritualistic, non-dualistic, non-deistic philosophy. They started around 500 BCE and they lasted to 600 ACE. Again, who was in charge of 600 ACE? They was going to stop everything that was going on. Just shut it down. Just no. Moving on. I got a problem with that guy, whoever he was. But now you got the Mahabharata. That's another, the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Yoga Kama Sutra and from the philosopher Patanjali, uniting all principles of previous philosophies. What's this? As way to what? They call it moksha, Moksha. And they use the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, forming the basis of what we call the synthesis of Hinduism. And this was done at 500 BCE and lasted around till 200 BCE. And then you got the laws of Manu. I'll be back with the next lesson. Oh, I got a whole page of information. That's going to be titled The Chronology of the Indian and the Egyptian Philosophy. Right, thinkers? I hope you're enjoying this. I am enjoying giving it. Hope you understand it. I'll break it down as I go. Hopefully you'll get the better perspective. But that's my goal, to get you just understand different philosophy. It ain't just about me. So again, in closing, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I'm never my right thinkers who now get the better understanding of different philosophies and passed away. I got more for you. You already know.